Calling Richard Heydarian. All right, dude. Looks like you got yourself into trouble again lately for insulting the incredible people of Mindanao by dishonestly misrepresenting their Human Development Index figures to the rest of the world. How dare you? This is a population that ranges in the tens of millions, and you decide to spread fake news about them? You decide to lie and malign and defame them in what can only be surmised as an attempt to push your uneducated politics? We're happy that you managed to finally grow a set of cojones just recently by acknowledging that the average HDI of Mindanao is higher than what you thought it was. But what about apologizing to so many of us whom you repeatedly dismissed as trolls just because we didn't and rarely ever agree with many of the things you say? You deceitfully accused us of maliciously twisting your words out of context. You even referred to people on your side, like JC Punong Bayan, as toxic, pathetic, and petty, simply because they were principled enough to call out your ignorance. And then lastly, and possibly worst of all, you attempted to play the victim card like a radical woke, unhygienic, prepubescent, social justice warrior by saying that all the good folks who were correctly criticizing your ignorance were somehow racist against Africa. Oh, for goodness sake, Richard, that pa-victim garbage went out of style in 2019. People can see right through it in 2025. Moving on, what's been on my mind is how you've repeatedly denied that the supremely flawed 1987 Constitution obviously needs to be amended or even replaced so that we end up having a foreign direct investor-friendly federal parliamentary system, and you couldn't really back your contrary opinions up with counter evidence against the barrage of real evidence I cited from a lot of prominent international political scientists and economists. Remember back in July of 2018 when I first openly challenged you to a debate about the need for constitutional reform? I have repeatedly kept challenging you ever since. Well, today, I reiterate that challenge. Let me say this with crystal clarity. HINAHAMON KITA. I challenge you, Richard Heydarian, to a debate about the fact that the 1987 Constitution is preposterously flawed and that the Philippines needs to remove all anti-FDI restrictions in the Constitution, adopt a gradualist evolving federalism as our structure of territorial administration, and shift over to the better, more efficient, more accountable, and less prone to corruption parliamentary system. We stream everything live here on PGMN. No edits, no moderators, no censorship. Just you and me, one-on-one. Come on, Javad, take the challenge. Debate me on constitutional reform. This offer will be on the table for 1 week, beginning today, March 21. If by midnight of March 28, you refuse to accept, not only will you forever be considered to be a purveyor of active disinformation and an obstructionist against the very systemic reforms our country needs in order to improve, you will also be exposed to the country and hopefully to the Western world for what many of us already know you to be: pretentious, insecure, and cowardly. You know, Richard, I see you and I don't see an evil person. Apart from your infantile narcissism and insufferable need to consistently expose your insecurities to the world, I actually think you might, deep down, be a decent human being. But we are all sick and tired of you responding to our very fair, mostly civil criticisms with childish emojis or references to books authored by your communist, Marxist heroes that have absolutely nothing to do with the topics you're being criticized about, just to confuse your own base of super low IQ followers. It's time to have a real conversation where you cannot escape real-time scrutiny by someone who really knows what he's talking about in this field. Not some self-proclaimed, nuance-free, wannabe intellectual. As our common friend Franco Mabanta once said, when you walk around with your chest puffed out, lacking any humility, the world will find a way to make you eat your pie. Now it's time to be a man. Debate me, Javad. This is your opportunity to show the world that you are not a coward. This offer expires in 7 days. Sincerely, your old pal, Orion.